Testa has met the guy with me. He's a friend of mine that lives in Yerushalayim. He, many years ago, I think it was in the late 70s, early 80s, he got into a bit of trouble in the US. He was in South America and he was in the US and he landed up in Qaeda. He landed up in prison. And he was an Israeli guy and he got a very personal letter, which I've seen, and Chama has actually seen it and met him. He got a very personal letter from the Rebbe telling him, that he's with him and that he must, change his ways. And the main thing about it was to guard the Shabbos, to keep the Shabbos, whatever, and he'll be fine and his life will turn around. And to cut the story short, he landed up getting out of prison and he was in New York City and he was looking for a job. And he got a job and he got employment working in a store, and the storekeeper wanted him to work on Shabbos. And he said, I can't work on Shabbos. So the storekeeper said, listen, he was under pressure. He had been looking for a job. No one was looking to employ someone that had just come out of prison. And he really was desperate for the job and he needed to put bread on the table. And he said, I just can't, it's going to be very difficult. I just can't do it. So the guy said, you have to do it. Anyway, he landed up working his first week and he felt the Friday night he was cringing and he was feeling terrible, whatever the else it may be, but he landed up going there on the Saturday morning, and on the Shabbos morning, he arrived at the store and there was a balagan outside the store. The store had been attacked by bees. So
what?
There were bees
Bees. Oh, wow.
Bees. But a huge hive of bees, and there were people and the fire department and the store was running frantic and the place was chaos and the place was crazy and there were bees everywhere and the stores next door were closing and the streets were being closed and it was crazy. And the store owner came up to me and says, it's because of you. It's because of your rabbi. So he says, to calm down a little bit, and he phoned the guy that everybody went home. He phoned the guy the next day and said, you can work, but you're not allowed to work on Shabbos. To cut the story short. To cut the story even shorter, the guy ended up coming back to Israel, ended up getting married, ended up he's got a beautiful family. In fact, I had the shush of being at his son's bar mitzvah a couple of years ago. Met him in Yerushalayim. He runs a shul. A special, beautiful story, a personal touch and a personal, and the person was really in trouble and in despair. And he came out of all of that and went through this. And, he tells the story of the bees. But when you actually see the letter, it's a very personal letter. So when maybe I can send the letter with his name blocked out, but asking permission to
amazing.
tell the story. But an amazing story that that this whole episode occurred with the bees. No, I thought I'd share it.
Good story. I couldn't have told such a good story myself. See you tomorrow, everyone.
Okay.
8:15.